Saturday, 7th of March, I'm doing a little bit of a test. I'm using, admittedly not the best in the world, but a badger brush versus, again, not the best in the world, a synthetic brush and the same soap to generate a lather to see which is best. I've always been convinced the synthetic is better, but I'm not biased. Let's try this little fellow. And I've already had a quick go. This is, of course, some wonderful soap. This is the Cajun Blades Lavash. So let's try and see what happens. So there, scrubbing away. This is the second time I've applied it. Not particularly effective, but this is the second go. And this, of course, is a badger. And now let's try again, second time, with the synthetic. You can hear the difference. Yeah, the synthetic, without any doubt, is better. It's a bigger brush as well, to be honest. But I think that's, to me, confirmation. Given a choice, synthetic. Anyway, all I was going to do a very quick shave, because I've got to go out. Do a very quick shave, and it'll be with the top end, well, if there is such a thing, shavette. No, this is no, inferior. I mean, it's doing the job, don't get me wrong, it is doing the job. But you could hear, if I may, and you can see the difference. However, I've yet to own a really top end badger brush, and I don't intend to. However, this is just a very quick Saturday morning messing about, really. This is a top, if I may show you, fully engraved by Mr. Picotan, who is a genius, fully engraved top end shavette, and it's got a good quality blade in it. I don't like feather blades. They always leave a degree, small degree admittedly, of I don't know what you'd call it really, irritation I suppose. Whereas this is a container which you get with a feather, and this is the one you get with the Kai blades, and I would say the Kai blades are superior. However, they're also more expensive. Right, chaps, I won't be long. This is just really me messing about on a Saturday morning, not trying to convince anybody. I'm just saying I have found over quite a few shaves that I much prefer synthetic brushes. However, personal preference apart, let me talk about the shavette side of things. Yeah, they're very clever. They're particularly clever at cutting you, as you can see. The shavettes are extraordinarily sharp, but, and here's the big but, they're a little bit more difficult to control because they're in a bit of an unwieldy, heavy, strange shaped container. So I would always say, don't bother. But once you've mastered straight razor shaving and you're used to a straight razor, then you can't go back to anything else. And I've tried the lot. However, that's nothing. I mean, I'm not even going to count that. It's just a tiny weeper. All I would say is, who needs weepers? You can always cure a weeper with a styptic pencil. And I've got a couple here, one of which is broken because it's alum and it's made in a strange sort of salt way. But here is a styptic pencil from yesteryear, and this is a big one, and this, applied briefly thus, will coagulate and stop the bleeding. It slightly stings, but like not really. Yeah, so anyway, this is me quaffling on like an idiot, but there's your styptic pencil in a nice little container from years ago, that one, and that will sort out any problems. Although obviously, if you're more careful and not in a hurry, you won't get any problems. Anyway, let's go against the grain with this beast. I was very proud to get this engraved because, as you can see, it's engraved and gold plated, and it is a work of art, but unfortunately the principle behind it, disposable blades, are very inferior compared with a straight blade. However, I'll shut up and just do a little bit more. It is remarkable over the centuries, as it has now been, how incredibly clever mankind is at developing steels like this. I don't like the mass-produced methods, but I've got to admit, if you're talking about sharp, this is like scalpel sharp. But the technique's not particularly wonderful. There's something gawky and awkward about a shavette. But if you're travelling and you don't want to take a straight razor, this will do the job. So just a couple of strokes more. You see, you can actually go over the area where the little tiny little nick was. The styptic pencil will seal it. So that's me done. Very quick shave. Very quick views from me on the use, or not use rather, of mass manufactured blades. Also, in all fairness, I'm used to a straight razor, whereas I very rarely use a shavette, for the simple reason the shavettes are incredibly convenient and the blades are unbelievably sharp, but there's a price to pay. You can't get a smoother shave than with a straight razor. But if you really love these things, and they are incredible works of art, also quite expensive, then yeah, don't let me hold you up. Right chaps, I'm just going to give a quick wash off. I'm done. So that was a Saturday morning shave in about 5 minutes. And a little experiment involving the wonderful Cajun Blade Lavash soap and 2 brushes. This is not a definitive answer, by the way. I don't do definitives, but I would say a cheap Badger brush compared with a top end synthetic, no comparison. The synthetic wins every time. However, as I've said already, if somebody would be kind enough to give me the best Badger, I'm sure that would equal a synthetic. Look, no blood, all gone. So there you go, little tip for today. Always carry a styptic pencil in case you're tempted to use strange tools like gillettes or shavettes. Anyway, Martin's Test Shaves, over and out.